Hello YouTubers, I'm Parvez and this is my first video on creating chatbots using DialogFlow. So we're going to use DialogFlow. Now DialogFlow is related to Google company, and you can use this website to create nice and functional chatbots. Now the sign up is free. You can freely sign up, and you can see that there are a lot of functionalities. For example, if you when you create your chatbots, then you can integrate your chatbots with Facebook Messenger, with Viber, WhatsApp, and different platforms. And even you can add your chatbots to your websites, and you can see, and there are 20 plus supported languages. So you can simply go to console with your email address, and let me click on go to console. So okay, so first of all, so now I'm waiting for this. Okay, now this is our DialogFlow interface. So first of all, let me talk about chatbot. So when you're going to build chatbot, now what's a chatbot, or what are chatbots? A chatbot is a computer program that simulates and processes human conversation, either written or spoken, allowing human to interact with digital devices as if they were communicating with a real person. So if you heard of Siri, IBM Watson, or Google Allo, etc., so the basic problems that these bots try to solve is to become an intermediary and help users become more productive. So they do this by allowing the user to worry less about how information will be retrieved, and also about the input format that may be needed to attain a specific data. You can see that this is the DialogFlow interface. We will talk about intents, entities. So in this video, we are not going to go to complex topics on content and chatbots, but we will learn the basic components of a chatbots, like intent, entities, and context, and different issues. So first of all, you need to create an agent. So now you can create agent from here. So you can click on create new agent. So now what is a DialogFlow agent? So the agent is essentially the bot itself. So if we give an example of agent as a small kid, now you have to teach him how to communicate. And now in a chatbot, it's your responsibility to create the bot's personality and manage what it can understand and how it responds. So you can see I've clicked and in here you need to give the agent name. For example, I'm going to give a bot. You can give whatever you want. For example, online restaurant bot, or for example booking bot, whatever you want, but let me just give bot test. And after that, you can choose your default language, what language you want, and also you need to choose the default time zone. After that, click on create. So now it's working, and now I'm waiting for the chatbot creation. Okay guys, now our agent is created, and you can see we have bot test agent in here, and this is the setting of our bot test. Now by default, if you see in here, we have intents. Now first let me just talk about intents. So what are intents? Now, so intent is if you see, intent is an intention. When user want to interact with a chatbot, or also we can say that intent is what he or she is asking from chatbot. For example, if a user say to chatbot that I have a question, now this is an intent. So also we can call this intent as a training phrases. So by default, when you create a bot test, you will have a default intent. So let me just open the default. It's a welcome intent, and So you can see we have a welcome intent, and you can see this is the training phrases. This is the place that user, for example, ask from a chatbot. For example, if for example, if your chatbot is about, for example, a restaurant, online restaurant, a user will ask to book a table or order food. So now this is the training phrases, and after that you need to add, for example, responses from chatbot sites. So this is their text responses. For example, in here you can see if a user say these words, you can change this. This is the default, but you can make add your user expression. For example, you can say, for example, hi, how are you? So like this, you can add your, hit enter. So you can see we have added our hi, how are you in here, and these are the responses. So for example, let me first don't remove these, and in here you can try it. So let me say, for example, users say hi. So now I'm waiting the response from the chatbot. So now you can say the chatbot is saying, good day, what can I do for you today? So this is the default that in here it's written. So good day, what I can do for you today, but you can change this. So also you can test this in the integration. So you need to click on the integration, and after this you can see we have different and here we need to go to web demo, and let me make it, and after this click on this. Okay, so let me come back to intent. So this was our default intent. Okay, let me click on intent. Okay, so now in here so in here if I say, for example, hello, and now this is the reply from the chatbot, greeting, how I can assist you. So you can change this this welcome intent. So these are, there's no problem for the user will say hi, greeting, hey. So I don't want to change this, but I'm going to change this. For example, let me remove this. Now in here I'm going to add the text response from myself. For example, in here I want to add if a user say, for example, hi, I'm going to tell hi, how are you? I'm so let me hi, how are you? I'm an online chatbot, and hit enter. So after, you can also add another, so let me just add one. After that, click on save. So now it will save, and after that it will train. So intent saved, and now it will train our this intent. Now agent training is completed. Yeah, now if I refresh this, and if I, for example, say in here for example, hi, you can say hi, how are you? I'm an online chatbot. So now this was a default intent. Now we are going to create our intent, so our custom intent, and so you can click on the intents, and in here you need to click on create intent. So you can give a name for your intent, for example, whatever you want. Okay, for the intent name, for example, I'm going to give it, for example, booking, or for example, booking intent, like this. Okay, and after this you need to add your training phrases. So add training phrases. This is the phrases that user will ask. For example, user will probably ask from the chatbot that book a table, or so reserve a table, or whatever you can write. For example, please book me a table. Okay, so now this is the user will probably ask. So you can add 5 up to 10 intents, so this is recommended. And also you need to add answers, so you can click on add response. So for the response, for example, I'm going to say okay, or we can call it thanks, I will book, sorry, so I will book a table for you. Okay, so I will book a table for you, and after that you can add as much as you want. For example, you can add enter a text response variant, so you want to, if you say a variation, so you can write I'm going to book a table for you, a table for you. So after that, click on save. So now it will save our intent, and after that it will train our intent, our agent. So intent saved, and so now agent training, and agent training completed. Okay, so now let me open my chatbot and refresh this, and let me, okay, so if I say hi, now I can say please book me a table. So now you can see I'm going to book a table for you. Okay, so now let me create another intent in here. Okay, now I'm going to click on intents, and this time I'm going to create an intent of for example order food. So let me call it order food. Okay, now for the ordering a food, user will ask, for example, order food, or I want to order food, like this, or what? Okay, like this, you can add, for example, whatever you want. I want to order food, or order food. So, or we can call I want food. So after this, now we need to add responses. So text response, and for the text response, I am going to write okay, I will bring food for you at your table. So you can add more, but I want to just add one, and after that I'm going to click on save, like this. So done, intent saved. Okay, agent training completed, and now I'm going to refresh my bot. Okay, now if I say hi, and now this is the reply from the chatbots. Hi, how are you? I am an online chatbot, and now I'm going to say that please bring for me food. Okay, so now you can see, okay, I will bring food for you at your table. So if I say something, for example, like this to chatbot, you can say I didn't get that, can you repeat? So now this was the intents example. Now I'm going to talk about the entities, that what are entities, and about the types of entities. So the entities are the metadata of intent. So intents have metadata, and that's called entities. So for example, if we are saying that book a movie ticket, now in here booking a ticket is an intent, and the entity is movie, which could have been something else as well, like flight, concert, etc. So there are two types of entities that you can use. So first one is the custom, that you can create your custom entities, and the second one is the predefined entities, system entities that you can use. For example, time, geolocation like city, countries, like this. So let me just show you first the predefined entities. Let me click on intents and open one of my intent in here. Okay, now in here I'm going to click on booking intent, and in here I'm going to add a predefined entities. So from the system defined entities. Okay, so for example, I want two entities are like, for example, date. So I want to say that please book me a table next week, or please book me a table tomorrow. So for this, now booking a table is intent, and the date, for example, next week is an entity. So now you can see in here we have in here you can add your entities. So let me just add call it date, and in here you can define your entity. So at date, so access a date period, and you can check this, and you can in here you can add so you can add the value. So for example, I'm going to add a date. So now if I say so for example in here, let me just write book, write expression, so book a table next week, and so now you can see it's in the yellow, so it's date period, and the result value is next week. So let me just remove our defined and that we have defined. So now you can see we have date period and like this. Now in here you can add so for example, okay, in the response tank I will book a table for you, and now you can add, for example, dollar date. So date period, so book a table for you, and or we can call it for, so for a date period. So let me now save this, and now I'm going to click on save, intent saved, and now I'm waiting for the training, agent training, and agent training completed. Okay, so now if I come in here in my boot test, and if I say hello and book me a table for next week. Okay, so you can see, thanks, I will book a table for you for 2000. So let me just change the format, so you can add a dot original and it will change the format to original format. So original, like this. Okay, so after that let me click on save again on the intent, done, intent saved, and now I'm waiting. Okay, agent training completed. Okay, so now let me just refresh this again, and let me write hi, and this is the chatbot, please book me a table next week. Now you can see, thanks, I will book a table for you for next week. So like this you can add predefined. Also you can make this required. So if a user didn't put, for example, a date, we are going to require this. So we are going to give a prompt. You can click on this and you can define a prompt. So please when you, so let me write, please when you want to book a table. So please when you want to book a table. Let me remove this, and okay, and let me close this. Okay, so now let me just click on save, So now I'm waiting for the training. Okay, now the agent training completed, and now let me just refresh this, and this time let me test this. If I say hello, and if I say please book me sorry, not ticket, please book me a table. So now you can see we have a prompt, please when you want to book a table. So now I'm going to write next week. Thanks, I will book a table for you for next week. Now this was predefined intent entities. Now you want to, for example, sometime you want to add your entities. So if you click on the entities, you can see that in here you can create your entities. Okay, now in here we have learned about system entities. Now in the custom entities, I'm going to create a new entity in here, and let me add some food names in here. For example, in here you can add, so you can so first you need to give a name for your entity name. So food, for example, I'm going to give it food list, like this. Okay, so now in here enter so first one, let me write rice, for example, and you can add the synonymous. I don't want to add that, so a steak, and for example fish, and fish stick. So or whatever you want, for example what name you want, I don't know, tuna, for example, like this. Okay, and let me add one more, sandwich. So after this, now click on save. Now I'm waiting for this. Okay, agent training started and training completed. Okay, now I'm going to click on my intents, and for example order food, let me click on order food intent. So this is our intent. Now in here you can add your entity name. So for example, let me add food list, and parameter name, and in here add food list, like this, and you can add enter food value, for example food underscore list. So now if I see in if a user say I want for example I want food, so for example the user say I want what was the foods that, so I want rice. Now if I click on save, okay guys, so let me just remove this, and let me delete this. Let me just create another intent, because I don't want to add this in my this intent. So for this, let me just create another intent. So okay, create intent, and okay, now this should be food list, like this, and in here you add user expressions. So in here you can add I want for example rice, and if you click on save, waiting. And let me just, I should have the custom entity in here, but let me just check this, that where's the problem. Okay, so just let me remove this, and now let me just add another user expression. So for example, I want rice. Hit enter. Okay, now you can see we have our entity list in this section, so you can see this is our custom entity. Now I want rice, and you can now in here add a text response. So okay, I will bring for you dollar food list, so the name of the food, and also I'm going to make this required, and also I want to define a prompt. Please which food you want. So okay, please which food you want. After that, click on close. Okay, so now I'm going to save this. So now I am waiting for the save, and done. Now intent saved, agent training completed. Okay, so now now if I go to my bot test and let me refresh this, so if I say hi, and if I say I want rice, okay, I will bring for you rice. If I say hello, for example, I want food, so okay, I will bring food for you at your table. It was from my previews. So if now this is food list, and I will bring for you food list, and I want food. Let me add this. Let me save this. So because we haven't defined like this, and we need to define this also. Okay, agent training completed. Okay, now let me just refresh this. If I say hi, I want for example, if I say tuna, okay, I will bring for you tuna. If I say I want food, please which food you want. And if I say, for example, the food that was so let me write rice, for example. Okay, I will bring for you rice. So thank you guys, this was creating a simple chatbot, and also we have covered a lot of topics. And if you have any question, please let me know, and for the further videos, please subscribe to my channel, like and share the videos. And also in the next video I will show you that how you can integrate your chatbot with Facebook Messenger.